It's the Leeds Rhinos against the Wigan Warriors. Leeds fourth in the table, their highest position of the season so far. Against Wigan, they've scored the most points and tries this year, and they have conceded the least. Leeds Rhinos will line up with Webb at full-back, then it's Donald, Delaney, Senior, Hall, Sinfield, the skipper, and Maguire. The forward pack, it's Lulawai, Badiris and Peacock, Jones, Buchanan, Ablett and Clarkson. And the bench occupied by Burrow on his comeback, Lautiti, Bailey and Burgess. The coach is Brian McLennan. For Wigan, Tompkins at full-back, then it's Goulding, Gleeson, Carmont and Richards. Deacon and Lulawai, who captains the team tonight from scrum half. Up front, Fielden, Riddell, Coley, Hansen, Joel Tompkins, O'Loughlin. The bench, Paliasina, Farrell, Davis and Tewson. The coach, the caretaker coach, is Sean Wayne. Sean Wayne in charge. He was sold by Wigan to Leeds in 1991 for £60,000. He had 3 seasons here at Headingley as a player. No case of divided loyalties for him tonight, though. They have the best away record in Super League this year, 10 wins from 11 on the road, but they have lost their last 4 visits to Headingley, twice in the Challenge Cup, twice in the playoffs since 2007. They have won 3 of the last 4 weekly rounds, though, to Headingley, but they've only had 9 wins here since 1996 in the weekly rounds, and Leeds hope to maintain that sort of record tonight. They're meeting Wigan for the second time in 2 months. Champions against champions-elect. They won the cup tie here in May by 12 points to 10. They do have the semi-final against St Helens next week. Will they be fully committed here tonight? Twin ambitions often lead to distractions. Only the Bradford Bulls in 2003 and St Helens in 2006 have won a league and cup double in the Super League era. And Leeds Rhinos and their supporters hell-bent on getting to Wembley for the first time in 9 years, but they would love to be back at Old Trafford to defend that title on October the 2nd. Steve Ganson's the big match referee. He's the man in the middle. This carpet of green is perfect. There's hardly a blade of grass out of place these days at Headingley. It is drizzly. It's been raining quite heavily for the past hour, so it could be zippy on the top, and it could be difficult to control that football. We shall see as Sinfield gets the game underway. And out on the full. It didn't go 10 metres anyway.
Well, it's different, but it's not all that constructive as far as I'm concerned. In wet conditions, why on earth they didn't keep it kicking deep and hope perhaps that Wigan receiving the ball may have come up with the error, but obviously a planned move by Brian McLennan, the Rhinos coach. But Richards boots that 35 metres downfield. Real pressure for the Rhinos now at their own doing.
Not really the start they wanted, and now offside against Leeds. Steve Ganson's shrill blow on the whistle. They were too quick off the mark. He said hold, hold, and he never said go. And so Wigan have a penalty on the 20-metre line. Second one of the match.
This is very
Coley
different,
has
David.
dropped the ball.
Very different. In the cup game they played here, they would have kicked a goal, I'm sure, with Pat Richards there. In fact, so many of Wigan's games have started with a penalty kick. Here we see Coley losing the ball. And having lost, I suppose, by 2 points with that last-minute try, maybe a different approach. They have to think they've got to score some tries, but it's quite a radical alteration, even though the conditions are almost exactly the same.
Well, Leeds celebrated that big hit by Peacock and Clarkson as though they just scored at the other end themselves.
And not only that, Eddie, the way that Peacock not only made the impact, he also had the arm down and the ball carrying arm, and he just dislodged it away. We'll see a lot of that. It's important that the ball carrier does not try to utilise a fend-off with the arm that's carrying the ball. It'll just squeeze out.
Well, the rain is falling pretty heavily right now as Leeds get the 3rd tackle, or the 4th tackle of their set of 6. That's Badiris. There is Sinfield, and he will drift it over the top, but it's well claimed by Pat Richards, and Richards will run it back, but it's a wonderful chase forward by Leeds, who are hurtling downfield to cut the ground down for Pat Richards as he brought the ball back on the kick return.
Not surprising, Eddie, that they went early in that tackle count as well. It's going to be so important. Look at the rain just teeming down. So possession, getting through your sets of 6 and putting yourself in a good position will win you this game tonight. Concentration is going to be at the highest.
Fielden gets the ball away to Riddell. He switches the direction of the attack. Deacon to Harrison Hansen. Here goes George Carmont down the wing, gives it to Pat Richards. Sinfield was tracking back and got the tackle in. Just over the halfway line, it's Deacon again. He showed it to O'Loughlin, gave it in field instead to the captain tonight, Luluai. Peacock in very, very quickly again.
Didn't surprise me, Wigan giving it plenty of air, trying to get it out wide. Remember against Hull last week, they really did catch them. The sliding defence, and that's a shocking attempt there from Hall.
Brent Webb to the rescue though for Leeds. And Joel Tompkins following up with Martin Gleeson, bring him down. Well, quite a bizarre opening to this match. Absolutely bizarre.
And Ryan Hall, not the best, really didn't make no attempt to go to get it with his hands, went with a boot instead. Boy, when's this going to settle down? Everything's at 100 miles an hour at the moment.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan tries to step inside Harrison Hansen.
Well, every team that plays Wigan this season knows that in the first 10 minutes they are red hot. They score more and concede less than anybody. This is when they tend to be at the most dangerous.
Sam Tompkins picks up the kick downfield from Kevin Sinfield, again kicking early in the tackle count. Sinfield, and he's brought to ground by Luluai and Danny Maguire. Tompkins back at full-back tonight, the England international.
They're certainly out for this at the Rhinos. They really are in top gear at the moment. Bouncing out of the blocks, getting involved. Look how they're pushing them back and trying to turn away. They're preventing Wigan from getting a quick play the ball. That's been their secret this year.
That's Harrison Hansen, gets it away to Carmont, and he's tackled on the ground over there by Jamie Peacock, who just suddenly, for the time being, is out of the defensive line as Coley goes in. Quick hands from Wigan. Here now is Tompkins. They're coming down this right channel with brother Joel. He finds Gleeson, and Gleeson tries to get away from Maguire, and he collides with Ryan Hall. That's the last tackle. Joel Tompkins to brother Sam. This will go high and cross field. Looking for Pat Richards out there. Finding Richards. He gets it away to Carmont. Wigan keeping the ball alive on the last. O'Loughlin booms the pass to Tompkins. He drops it under pressure from Maguire.
Good work by the stand-up Maguire. Had to be as well. They had the overlap. But give credit to the Wigan side for keeping this ball alive. Considering the conditions, Brian Noble, this is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, a couple of early traits, absolutely, from Wigan. They're prepared to expand their play. A couple of offloads and move the ball. Leeds are a little bit more direct and looking to establish field position with Kevin Sinfield's long kicks.
There's Brian McLennan, the Leeds Rhinos coach. This is their 197th home game, by the way, in Super League. And it's quite a fortress, this Headingley Stadium. Leeds have 144 of them. Another kick downfield on tackle number 4.
Well, the chase is good, Eddie, so these are very good tactics. Look at that line of defence from Leeds.
Great chase, led by Medeiros. Bill?
Eddie, the conditions have worsened. It was pretty heavy before the kick-off. This rain now is even heavier and obviously is going to influence things. And you spoke in the build-up about that cup tie back in May, which was played in torrential rain. I think it was probably worse than this, but this is not going to help the players. And incidentally, that word about Paul Deacon mentioned in the team news, it's a calf problem that he's had in the last week. They were concerned about it, but he obviously came through the warm-up very well indeed. Just one final point about this weather. I've just met somebody who's flown in from Mallorca to enjoy this. They are a dedicated rugby league follower.
I bet they come in shorts and flip-flops as well, because it's very hot over there, but it's a wet old Yorkshire night here. Six and a half minutes gone. Leeds in possession here with Carl Ablett taking on Stuart Fielden. There's been some collisions already tonight between Fielden and Jamie Peacock. Of course, it's a great battle between the two former Bradford Bull stars. This is Maguire.
Great offload there. Kevin Sinfield in top form, and he's come up with the error. Well, expect a lot of that, especially at the pace that this game has started. Look at that offload there by the captain, but good defence. This was a mistake. Look at that, bang, and straight through it. Richards put them into a good position, and then they just blow it. Come up with a knock-on, got the penalty there by Steve Ganson, and then Coley couldn't hang on to it.
A very strange opening 50 seconds to this match. It's settling down now as we approach 7.5 minutes. This is Richards taking on Chris Clarkson. Quite a night for him, one of the major finds this year for Leeds. 20 years of age, it's his 5th in a row at loose forward. There he is again, number 27, getting stuck in early. Wigan on their own 40-metre line with Riddell. Gives it to Luluwai, then back on the inside to Joel Tompkins. He took Clarkson on then, caught him a bit high as well, and just rocked Clarkson back on his heels a bit. That was Riddell. Now Coley, he finds Deacon. Deacon spreads it to Tompkins, who goes for a gap.
This is why I like Sam Tompkins in the full-back position. He can pick his spot. OK, it was pretty strong defence. You can see him, he just comes either inside or outside of the centres. He can make the choice.
Wigan keeping this ball alive. It's Martin Gleeson. He gets it wide to Daryl Goulding. And Goulding hacks the ball inside. The chase is there. It's Luluwai. Referee will hand it upstairs to Phil Bentham, the video referee, to make the decision. He wants to check whether Luluwai's onside, but the smile, I think, tells you that Luluwai believes he was.
Brilliant play. Goulding knew that there was nowhere to go. Look how they keep it alive. They can split it. O'Loughlin, and then the second rower, Joel Tompkins. Gleeson's pass, superb. He knew he couldn't get there. He knew the cover defence was going to be strong. But look, there's no one tracking back in defence. Great little chip back on the inside, but where are the Leeds cover? Nowhere. No doubt about it in my mind, this will be given. Absolutely superb.
Does he not have a bobble?
No, he's got it down with a chest. That's a try. If that's a bobble, I'm a Dutchman.
Mr. Stevenson talking.
What you want from me?
I think that was German, wasn't it, Steve?
Doesn't matter, the next door, aren't they?
There you go, it's a try on the board for Luluwai. A try on the board for Wigan. They have the early lead. Well, they've been seeking that, really, haven't they, from the very first whistle. They've kept the ball alive, and Thomas Luluwai has just scored his 40th try for Wigan.
All about offloading, that's what Fielden did, but watch O'Loughlin gets the ball away. Tompkins then sets Gleeson in, and this is brilliant stuff. But where will the Leeds cover? They will be bitterly disappointed, especially their coach Brian McLennan. All goes in, he had to take Gleeson. Even the cover defence, but look at that. He'll be happy. He said he wants to show emotion. Great stuff.
And he's loving every minute of being in charge in the most difficult circumstances, with Michael Maguire back home after a family bereavement. But Sean Wayne revelling in the role of caretaker coach. Now, Pat Richards, he is within 50 points of Andy Farrell's record for the Wigan Warriors. He's now within 48 points of Andy Farrell's 388 in a season set in 2001. More importantly, Wigan lead here at Headingley by 6 points to 0.
Eddie, I was fascinated tonight as we see the kick going from Daryl Goulding. This is wonderful skill there under pressure from Maguire. Doesn't kick it too hard, he knows it has to be soft enough to lie in the in-goal area and allow Thomas Luluwai to show why he backed him on the inside. But just going back to the start of that try, all came from the Stuart Fielden offload. And I wonder, Eddie, now with just sort of less than 10 weeks, I suppose, before the England squad's announced, whether Stuart Fielden will again force his way back into the international side. Will he become one of the best front rowers in this competition? We'll get to see here tonight against people like Jamie Peacock just what level he's at right now.
Well, you're right, he's been out of the international scene for a couple of seasons, Stuart Fielden, but he has been full of it this year, I must say. And of course he was a big money signing that Brian Noble took to Wigan. He is getting back to his best, Brian, this year. He's playing well, Stuart Fielden.
Yeah, he's been good on and off. It's the consistency aspect, I suppose, we're talking about. And he's finding that this year. He's simplified his game, and it's paid benefits for him. I'd certainly consider him for the end of the year.
Knock on here, though, by Joel Tompkins, just trying to be a bit fancy in these wet conditions, just to flap the ball wide. It went forward before it reached Goulding.
You've got to praise the fact that I anticipated that Wigan would really come out firing, try to get as many points early, just to maybe upset the Leeds outfit, make them think maybe they've got that big game next weekend. It's all about using the tactics to your advantage.
Now then, what can Leeds do with this possession in the Wigan half? Peacock plays the ball. This is Sinfield now. Maguire, he finds Ablett, takes the return. And he is just beaten by sheer weight of numbers then. Wants to play the ball to Badiris, does so. It's Sinfield, pops it up to Luluwai, nearly lost it. Broke the first line of defence, broke the second line of defence. Important tackle from Tompkins, but a penalty.
Holding someone back. No support, they've gone for the quick one.
They found Senior! And that's bounced off a chest and went backwards, and Wigan will take the goal line dropout.
Well, great pressure and good thinking there. Beautiful run though, wasn't it? Luluwai nearly made it.
And Coley is the man penalised for pulling back in back play.
Took a huge gamble, didn't he, Daryl Goulding? But there's a man that's given away the penalty.
349th career appearance tonight for Andy Coley. Missed a couple suspended, but he came back at prop against Hull last week. Another prop forward in great form this year who might well be eyeing a trip down under at the end of the season.
What a great drop out there from the wonderful winger Pat Richards. There's a great advantage in to have a player of this ability to be able to drop out, get it well over into the opposition's half.
Harrison Hansen with the headgear now. His head was bandaged earlier on. Maguire did well to hang on to that. This is Webb. Senior with the quick hands this time to Ryan Hall. That one came off. Ryan Hall trying to go inside. Daryl Goulding gets the ball away to Webb, and Goulding was there. Players tackled all over the place. One with the ball, one without the ball. Badiris then to Maguire. Maguire pops it up to Luluwai again. Coley stands his ground. They're 20 metres away, Leeds. This is the fourth tackle. It's with Sinfield. Doesn't kick, goes flat. Clarkson it is who hangs on. Now Badiris back to Maguire. It goes up off the boot of Maguire to the corner, looking for Ryan Hall. Goulding's dropped it, and Tompkins to the rescue. Another goal line dropout coming up.
Good work.
No, he says it's a turnover.
Well, he must have classified that it would be a knock-on. Did Ryan Hall get a fingertip to it? Yes, according to the man with the whistle, Steve Ganson.
Fair enough, I think on the second look he did, but we get two looks. Steve Ganson gets one, and he's got the decision spot on.
Better attacking play though by Leeds on two occasions. Put of the kick, so important, especially with wet conditions. Now it's up to the Rhinos trying to keep Wigan inside their own quarter. Won't be easy. Good work from Riddell. Such an important player, this fella. He'll have to control things, wet conditions, make sure it's a good pass.
And Tompkins from inside his own 40 gets the kick away, but it just skips past Scott Donald. 14 minutes gone, Wigan 6-0 up. They've scored a try, which is something they didn't do in the cup tie here in May. And they lost that day by 12 points to 10 to Lee Smith's last minute, last gasp try. And Lee Smith is not in the Rhinos lineup tonight. Ryan Hall is though. Tried to go inside field, and he just snaked out the arm and helped to bring him down. Sinfield, Delaney.
Good work, took a lot of pressure off the forwards, but Wigan are holding them down slightly, getting away with it.
This is Peacock. Peacock keeping his feet, but eventually going down. Fielden gets off him eventually. Last tackle, high, hanging kick from Sinfield. Oh! I think Ablett was offside more than anything else.
Oh, it's on. They're taking things into their own hands. They're coming in from all over. Thankfully, most of them are pulling rather than pushing and punching.
It was a very, very ugly tackle on Tompkins by Carl Ablett, and that's what sparked this. But I think Ablett was offside, and I don't know whether Steve Ganson was shouting at him to stay out of it, but if he did, he certainly didn't hear him.
It was a wonderful spiralling kick. Spinning in the air, wet conditions. It would have been a goal going through the mind of Sam Tompkins, but there's no doubt in my mind that Carl Ablett is just in front. There he is, bottom screen on your left.
So he's in front of the kicker. Go away, mate.
And he wallops him. Oh, that is a shocker.
Then when it comes through, what about the challenge?
That is a bad one. And he uses the right elbow.
Okay. Challenge high.
And I think we might get a red here.
Okay, so
that is a shocker.
Okay, mate. Right.
To use the shoulder, he may have got away with it, but he could have broken this young kid's jaw.
Mate, the first
And there is no
defence
excuse for this.
Kevin as well. First call through by the touch was he was offside. Okay, don't argue about it because you're already here in trouble. The second defence is you've made contact high. It's a penalty and you're going on report. Now it's down to you. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm going to tell you what's happening.
It's on report. Carl Ablett for the challenge on Sam Tompkins. And Sam Tompkins, looking at him, is okay.
Well, I think he's very fortunate indeed, Carl Ablett.
Well, he's lucky and we're lucky that Sam Tompkins is okay. It looks like he can play on in this match. It looks like he's got a sore neck.
Well, we hope so, Phil, because after that collision there, we have to protect the youngsters coming through, especially of that stardom. I mean, it's past a joke, that.
Well, he's never shy on brandishing cards, Steve Ganson, but he's put that on report and he will let others decide.
Well, he had to rely on the touch judges on that occasion. It was such a deep kick that he was too far behind, was Ganson. He wouldn't have seen it clearly.
It hasn't affected Carl Ablett because he's steaming in. 2 tackles there. This is fielded.
Well, you could see he was appealing to Ganson, saying I did nothing wrong.
Now it's Sean O'Loughlin. Here is Lulawai back on the inside to Sam Tompkins.
They look forward. They got away with it. This will be a high kick. This will be interesting. It's getting a bit nasty out there, especially with Ablett. Got another go at Tompkins.
Kick downfield from Lulawai, fielded by Donald.
This is where Wigan will try and inflict the pain here now, Eddie. Paliacina's on. He's got all the players pumped up here now and wanting to inflict some pain back on Leeds.
Well, so long as they do it legally, Phil, that's the important thing.
Now
this is infield.
There's a problem with Ablett. He's way out on the left-hand side on defence.
Maybe they're just taking him out of the firing line for the moment, Steve-O, and put him out there because he's really been putting himself about the last 5 minutes. He's having a breather.
Yeah, but I think there might be something wrong with him.
Lulawai. That's the last tackle. Good set of 6 by Wigan in defence. The kick from Sinfield's coming. It's a low shooter and it will find its way over the dead ball line.
Well, that'll just calm things down slightly, and I'm sure that Steve Ganson, the official, feels that way.
Come on, Mike. Keep it up there. We don't want calming down. We want good football. Good, clean football. It's exciting. They're getting into each other. It's a good game.
I don't like seeing anybody sent off, but I think that was my decision. But I think the referee would like to calm it down slightly. OK, we can go back to the biff and barge if you like, but that was shocking.
Let's go down to Bill.
Eddie, another incendiary device about to take the field. Ryan Bailey just out of the dugout has got his training top off, his warm-up top off, and he's just about to come on. Who he's going to replace, it's normally Jamie Peacock. I'm just wondering whether they might decide to take Carl Ablett out of the firing line, because there was a lot of concern on the sidelines while Ablett was just getting a little bit carried away out there, shall we say.
Well, he's coming into the action in a moment. Ryan Bailey just walking back with the Leeds defensive line as they defend this chip over the top by Thomas Lulawai. It's picked up by Scott Donald. Referee shouts Wigan are all onside. They make the tackle with Deacon.
Looks as though they've decided it's easier to tackle Scott Donald than it is Ryan Hall when they kick the ball. More often than not, they're putting it over to the smaller of the 2 wingers.
It's Kylie Lulawai who's left the field to make way for Ryan Bailey, by the way. This is Brent Webb, 99th game for Leeds tonight. There's Lulawai just taking a breather. Ablett continues on, finds Senior. He finds Hall.
What a
good
great
defence from Joel Tompkins. Great take, great defence. There's Bailey. First touch for him. He plays the ball to Badiris. Maguire just drifts the kick over the top, and again on this greasy surface that runs dead, and he wasn't happy with that. He didn't mean that to go out.
No, and I was just about to make the point that sometimes a lot of the teams quite happy to let it skid over, just get their one line of defence on that 30-metre line. But it just shows you both these sides. The reason why they are in the top 4, their kick and chase game has been outstanding.
That's Liam Farrell. Bill's having a busy night on the sideline.
I tell you what, this one not for the faint-hearted, because Harrison Hansen, and you mentioned it, Eddie, was out there with a grey scrum cap on. He's just left the field. It's now bright red, crimson red, in fact. The blood pumping from a cut in his head. He's gone straight to the dressing room to have that stitched, I would imagine.
Brave boys that play this game. He'll be back. Harrison Hansen, Riddell to Luluai. Great hands. Tompkins clawed to the ground.
Beautiful move. Little short pass from Riddell, then back on the inside.
Luluai with a crossfield kick, looking for Richards. Finding Richards. Can he get rid of the ball? He can, and it's flicked on. Back to all the referees. Wipe the tackle count down here. Have Wigan heard it? Don't need to now.
He's
Big
offside.
hit.
He said play on, advantage. It looked to me as though he's offside, but what a great hit there.
You know, a lot of people, myself included, question Danny Maguire's ability to tackle people, but there can be no questions there with his commitment. He's just king hit, probably the best physique on the pitch in Stuart Fielding. And he's knocked the ball free too. He's won the ball back with 6 more tackles. That's brilliant play from Danny Maguire.
That's why Leeds are in possession here with Jamie Peacock. Badiris finds Sinfield. Just look at this. Bang! That's Maguire.
Commitment.
Don't calm down, boys. Don't calm down. It's a cracker, isn't it? Last tackle, and off the boot of Maguire it goes high. Tompkins is after this and claims it.
Tremendous stuff. That shows you the courage of the man who's just been taken and flattened out a few minutes earlier.
Luluai scampers from dummy half.
Never any doubt he was going to take it. He's a talent, we all know that.
Darryl Goulding needs 1 try for 50 in his career. Darryl Goulding tonight. Paliasina, good tackling by Badiris. Riddell. Here's Liam Farrell. Last one here for Wigan. Still inside their own half. It'll come to Tompkins then. Juggle with it. Managed to get the kick away, but straight to Brent Webb.
Good pressure as well there by Badiris.
Getting involved are Leeds in the playoff contention now. They have won their last 2 in Super League, 9 of the last 11. They really have done well to get to 4th. They were outside the 8th when we went up to Murrayfield at Edinburgh. And now look where they are. They're sniffing Old Trafford again. This is Maguire, goes inside Fielden. Sinfield is there in support. Wide ball from him finds Clarkson. Clarkson then forward to Donald.
They've missed it.
And he had to take that over the line because Donald was hunting. Sam Tompkins gets another goal line dropout for Wigan, the 3rd.
Well, that was the mile forward, wasn't it? You could see there that Scott Donald had to reach forward, nearly did a somersault. But again, good positional play by Sam Tompkins. He may have got rattled, as we say earlier, but he's really alert now. That's the 4 occasions now that he's come to the rescue of the Wigan outfit. And watch the depth that we'll get here from Pat Richards.
Second goal line dropout then that Leeds have forced. Richards, great length on it. First bounce on the 40-metre mark in Leeds half. Here comes Bailey. Takes on Carmont, down he goes. Something else is on report here.
Did Bailey go in with the... Oh, he brings the knee right in. Oh, dear me. Now this is painful. Straight into the ribcage. Oh, well spotted there by Steve Ganson.
Well, there's 2 Leeds players on report in the opening 23.5 minutes. This could be a costly evening. This could be a very costly evening with the semi-final due next Saturday against St Helens.
Well, you only need to ask somebody like John Stankovic how dangerous that can be. I think it had a very serious effect on his shoulder when he was playing for St Helens, and against Wigan actually in a match. Craig Smith, I think, lifted the knee on that occasion, and it can really injure people, so I'm glad it hasn't here. We'd rather to make sure that it doesn't continue in the sport.
Luluai finds Deacon. Here's Palliasina. He doesn't lift his knees, he just puts his head down and goes straight for the line. Luluai waits, 20 metres away are Wigan. Deacon finds O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin then to Sam Tompkins. He goes underneath the slap from Senior. Tackled by Ablett. Gleeson again, finds O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin then infield. Went backwards. Oh, he's given a knock on. It was Tewson, I think, who got the hit. It was, and it looked from up here as though it went backwards, but the referee, he decides this is a Wigan knock-on.
Yeah, it looked as though it's gone backwards, but he's lost control, so the official has intimated that he had no control of it.
Okay, tight in, lads. Okay, Tom.
Difficult one to call. But I'm with you, Eddie. This must be of great concern to the Rhinos. 2 players on report.
There's nothing to say, Steve, by the way, the fact they're on report, that anything will happen at the disciplinary committee.
No, we're not the disciplinary.
That's up to them.
We can only call what we see. And they'll watch, and they'll make their call.
Without commentary, by the way, they just listen to it mute.
Of course.
This is Joel Tompkins, and that was a fumble by Gleeson, but that did go back.
Good harassing, though, by the Leeds defence.
Here's Palliasina again. Inside, Jamie Jones-Buchanan takes 3 to bring him down. He's making good metres forward so far, Palliasina. Luluai, O'Loughlin, Deacon. That looked forward. There's plenty to question in this match. Being played at breakneck pace. O'Loughlin. Joel Tompkins, inside Senior, great feet. Good tackle, though, by Carl Ablett.
Just needed that second phase, didn't he? But there was no one else there.
Here's Deacon, stabs the kick in, that was played at. This will be another set of 6.
It is. Leeds fans don't like it, but it's spot on. Badiris thought that he'd got away with it.
Deacon to his feet, plays the ball to Luluai. Palliasina, legs pumping, takes them underneath the sticks. Luluai scheming at dummy half. Will go left, gives it to Deacon. Deacon attacks the line, gives it to Sam Tompkins, short ball. Carmon picked that up brilliantly, and Carmon gets it down, I think.
How on earth did he take the pass? He was like a bullet going straight through. It went slightly behind him, and for some unknown reason he could grasp at it with one hand. Has he got it down, though, Carmon? He's spinning. Momentum takes it over. This will be decisive. It's try time. Fantastic effort, but the way that he took that red-hot pass was outstanding.
Incredible this, if it's a try for George Carmont. He has yet to score at Headingley. He has now. He got a try against Leeds at home in March in the 28-10 win. He got a try in the home win against the Rhinos last year as well. But that was his first ever try at Headingley, and it's given Wigan a 10-point advantage here at the home of the champions. The league leaders are ahead.
First, the kick from Deacon comes off Badiris. The officials got it absolutely spot on. Badiris thought that there'd been a bit of a fumble there, but how on earth has he got this? Look at that, bang! Under so much pressure, and had the wherewithal to get it down with the left arm. Deacon, Tompkins, bang! Oh, wonderful stuff. They're taking charge. They're in control of the Cherry and Whites. Great effort.
George Carmont, a Samoan, his 7th try of the campaign. 10-0. Pat Richards, 26 points, including 3 tries at Hull last week. His 4th Wigan hat-trick. The top goal kicker in the competition. 120 so far. 121, but 12 points tonight for Wigan. They lead 12-0.
Well, it's outstanding play. It's been a feature all throughout the season, the way that Wigan have been keeping this ball alive. But the way that he took that in very wet conditions, it was a screamer of a pass from Sam Tompkins.
Sinfield gets us underway with a high-hanging kick-off. 28.5 minutes gone. Palliasina will drive it back at the Leeds Rhinos again.
Move! Hold! Go!
Well, all of a sudden, the error by Ryan Bailey to lift his knee as he went in the tackle seems to be a costly one. You'd have to say it's a six-point error, wasn't it? The Leeds had that goal line dropout, were applying some pressure, have gone to the other end of the field and conceded 6.
This is Liam Farrell. That was Deacon. Here goes Tucson again. He's played in 7 of the last 8, has Chris Tucson. O'Loughlin trying to go around Carl Ablett, is tackled on the last. Luluai at the dummy half. Up it goes off the boot of Tompkins. Not the best kick he's ever put in, but it's difficult for Donald, and Richards is there! The ball's come free, and I think it's going to be a goal line dropout.
Certainly is, but the pressure, he allowed it to bounce. You can't afford to do that. He did not commit himself. He was undecided, just got the flick at the right moment.
He did well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Scott
he
Donald.
knows he's under pressure.
There.
It slips away and has a second go. Oh, Pat Richards thought that was an easy 4-point.
2 former Parramatta Eels coming together then, Scott Donald and Pat Richards, and a goal line dropout here for the Leeds Rhinos underneath their own sticks, and Kevin Sinfield in no hurry to take it. You might have noticed, by the way, the Wigan players tonight wearing black armbands. We've had it confirmed that they are wearing those black armbands as a mark of respect for Michael Maguire's father, who has died in Australia, and that's why the coach is back home. He went to see his dad before he passed away, and he no doubt is staying on now for the funeral. Sad occasion for Michael Maguire, desperately sad. But in his absence, they lead here 12-0. Half an hour gone. And of course, in Michael Maguire's absence and under Sean Wayne, Wigan have yet to concede a point. Here is Tompkins, grounded by Maguire, who was asking the touch judge, was that a knock on? Gleeson is the dummy half. It's Joel Tompkins. Tries to go round Badiris, can't get past Peacock and Bailey. It's the last tackle here for Wigan. That's Luluai. Joel Tompkins hurt there. This is Sam Tompkins. Dab towards the corner, well held by Maguire.
What a take. Could have been over the other stand in the Headingley cricket ground there. That was a wonderful take there by the standoff.
Slip fielder in his youth was Danny Maguire, and proving it there.
Shot to the line for Scrum. Took his advantage.
Somehow Wigan came up with the ball then, and they thought they were in for another try. Let's have a look what happens here. They come up with the ball.
Ryan Hall loses it and just squeezes out, and they thought they were over. No doubt about it. Sean O'Loughlin realises that he couldn't get anywhere near to it.
Then he lost it. You'd have scored, you'd have wanted to try.
Well, he allowed the advantage.
Well, they got across the advantage line. They went for the try, so I suppose advantage given.
I've been so impressed with the way that Wigan have not retaliated. You know, 2 incidents that could get you all a little bit excited, get you away from the game plan, but they've just controlled it, and that's a high shot.
I think it's a grapple tackle by George Carmont. Round the throat of Jamie Peacock.
I thought the first one was high, but it wasn't. And this is a great relief for the Rhinos. They're in all sorts of trouble.
And a little bit of light relief for the Rhinos as well. Rob Burrow has entered the field, and he has replaced Danny Badiris. There he is, Burrow gets his first touch, sets Luke Burgess off.
Well, to be fair, Badiris has done his job in defence. There's 20 tackles he's rattled up in 32 minutes. It's not a bad effort. It just shows you the amount of pressure that Wigan have applied.
There's Burrow again. Clarkson
Lost
the ball.
Is a penalty.
Oh, it's been stolen.
I think you'll find a stray hand in there. Not too sure if it was Mr. Fielden, but the youngster, I think you'll find it's Coley just had a little fingertip involved.
It's ruled as a ball steal, 2-1 by Steve Ganson. Leeds 10 metres away. Here is Sinfield to Burgess. This is a test of the Wigan defence now.
Run from dummy half from Burrow. They've done very little of that of Leeds.
Maguire, good ball. Big Ali Lauatiti held back by Wigan defenders. Lost the ball.
He can't believe it, Lartiti. Looked as though he's heading for glory. But look at this swarming defence. Joel Tompkins put the big hit in. Tompkins, was it stolen or did he lose it? According to the official, he lost control of it.
Well, they have conceded the least number of tries in Super League this year, and we are seeing the reason why. The Wigan defence, Brian, magnificent so far.
Absolutely superb, and their kicking game's been good as well. We spoke at the early start of the programme that whoever kicked well and established some field position would be the dominant party. Leeds have come up with a couple of penalties at the wrong time, and Wigan have dominated the right end of the field. They've kicked really well, and when they've had to bend their backs, they've been superb, as you say.
This is Richards, who will get to his feet and play it to Luluai. This is Sean O'Loughlin. He was the captain last year, Sean O'Loughlin. He's one of the band of 5 or 6 players who will be given the captain's armband this year by Michael Maguire. He hasn't sulked about losing the captaincy of his hometown club. Luluai with a deep kick from inside his own 40. It's a good kick too, because Brent Webb has got to run it back.
Count the cherry and whites and you'll get about 6 or 7 at least. On that occasion, 7. It's tremendous stuff. Be able to kick and keep the opposition down in their own quarter, though they've given a silly penalty away. Looks like Martin Gleeson
yes.
Just having a second go.
Yes, he was all over the grounded player, wouldn't let Ryan Hall get to his feet, and had to give him a bit of a facial as well.
That's a coach breaker. Good kick, great chase. 30-40 metres given away.
Apart from the obvious tremendous game that we're watching here, something else that should be appreciated: 9 home-produced players in Wigan 17, 9 in the Leeds Rhinos side also. Burrow is one of them.
Looked very high indeed. Coley had a grab, but he is low to the ground, to be fair to the little fella Rob Burrow.
Sinfield taking them on. Goes down on tackle number 4, but they're 3 metres away. Oh, Liam Farrell was offside. Liam Farrell way offside. The referee's given it.
Quick thinking. Ablett jumped into the dummy half. Knew that Farrell was struggling to get round. Looks like they're going to do one drive and then maybe a switch.
That's Bailey.
Maguire is the key. Second phase. Oh, he's lost it.
Dear. Bailey with a big error.
Maguire says, I cannot believe it. They were setting up for a set pattern. He was standing back. He was going to come on second phase. Good work, though, wasn't it, by Ablett? Very keen indeed. Little doubt he was offside. Liam Farrell. And then this. Well, that's schoolboy stuff. He didn't even want to regain his feet. Yeah.
Frustration for Danny Maguire, frustration for the Leeds Rhinos.
It was so important as well, and you know, just before half-time, they needed something to lift their spirits. It's been a very controlled session from Wigan.
Joel Tompkins surrounded by 3. Goes down. Second tackle. Luluai. Here is Martin Gleeson.
And we keep records and show action replays when teams score tries. But what you've got to remember about this Wigan side, it's over 2 hours since they last conceded a try. 2 hours of rugby league before a team have got over that try line and put the ball down successfully. And that's a great mark for any side. At any level, they're doing incredibly well. They're playing well with the ball, but too often in this country, perhaps we've focused about the attack. Wigan have certainly got the balance right between attack and defence.
Deacon will hoist the high kick. Brent Webb has to come for it and takes it. Accomplished full-back that he is, that was never in doubt. Then fires a pass in field to Ryan Hall. Leeds looking to get over the try line just before half-time if they can.
It was significant as well. You know, it was taken well by Brent Webb, but it also...
That's a shot by Joel Tompkins on Keith Senior.
Well, they keep inviting Leeds back into this game. Very silly play at a time when they really should be just taking things early, and not surprisingly, he'll have a few words.
I spoke about a knee in the face, now a high tackle, and you're the skipper. I don't really need to say much else, do I?
But he's just given Joel Tompkins the captaincy, Steve Ganson. Senior has a little smile at him.
It was a shocker.
For the record, Thomas Luluai is the skipper, Steve Ganson. Burgess bounces off Joel Tompkins.
Well, Sean Wayne will be furious if Leeds get over for a try.
Clarkson is dumped to the ground by Field and Coley. There is Sean Wayne, stern face watching on. Maguire to Sinfield, back it comes to Brent Webb. Wide they go to Scott Donald. Wigan come across again, but it's been slapped by Carmont. He's going to talk to the captain now.
Another high shot. Flat to the hand, I feel. Or was it the forearm? Either way, Donald felt that. There's been some nasty incidents in this game.
Who's the captain? No, it's all on you, Sean. He's been told the captain. Rick, 6 penalties now, 7 minutes. Take this as an official warning. There'll be no more. There'll be no more.
An official warning goes to Joel Tompkins. Steve Ganson thinks he's the captain, but hey, it doesn't matter. He's talking to a player. And apparently Joel Tompkins tossed the coin, but that may be where the confusion arises, because Thomas Luluai named on the sheet. Anyway, here is Maguire. It doesn't matter, does it really? Brent Webb gets away from Goulding, and a second time fires the pass inside to Sinfield. Cherry and White Wall ahead of him, gets the ball away though, back to Webb. Webb toying with the defence, gives it then to Clarkson. Clarkson going for it himself. Clarkson scores! Clarkson scores for Leeds Rhinos right before half-time. Costly penalties by Wigan. Clarkson, 20 years of age, 5th in a row at loose forward, tries in the last 2 home games, none of them as vital as this, because the champions are back in it against the league leaders. And right on the stroke of half-time, a massive psychological blow for the Leeds Rhinos here.
Well, I said that Sean Wayne, the Wigan caretaker coach, could be furious if they allowed Leeds to get back into this match, but it was a good effort. They tested their arm, they kept the ball alive, didn't fancy the kick. See how Goulding came out of it. Webb teases them in and out, and again they're hanging back. He did ever so well, didn't he? Sinfield offload, and then this. Half a gap, strength. They had 3, and he was too strong. This is the penalty given away. George Carmont wrapped round the head of Scott Donald. This had to be scored, and that is a great effort. Didn't go upstairs to Phil Benton, the video referee. Steve Ganson, pretty confident he got that down. I think he got it right.
Well, we keep talking about the young players in Super League this year and the possible Young Player of the Year candidates. He's only been around 5 minutes, Clarkson, but there's another one. And Sinfield adds the extras for Leeds. Champions are back in it. 12-6 Wigan.
Well, he had dropped the ball twice, taking the ball forward before this, and I think he'd be relieved that firstly he held on to it, and then even more so that he's got his side across the halfway line. I'm sorry, across the try line.
And it was the final act of a dramatic, controversial, but compelling first half. Wigan with tries from Luluai and Carmont. Again,